Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be updating you on a bit more transfer rumours that I have just been currently researching up this morning. We're going to be discussing a bit about a few transfer rumours. We're going to discuss about Ozil, we're going to be discussing a bit about Emre Can, and we're going to be discussing about a few more players that I updated you with you guys yesterday. So the first is actually now about Emre Can for Liverpool now. Juventus obviously during the window reportedly were interested in Emre Can. Juventus did lose two of their key players. They've lost quite a few key players over the couple of years. Lost Pogba last summer to us. They lost Vidal as well. They lost Benucci and they lost Dani Alves. So they have lost a couple of key players. They did get Matuidi in the current August window as well. And the Juventus CEO has come out and confirmed about Emre Can that they did have an interest in the player. They did actually put a bid in for Emre Can, but I think Liverpool were resisted and were reluctant to offload the player, and I think they're still in the process of securing Emre Can a new deal. But I think the player is actually demanding a release clause in his current deal, but Liverpool are failing to do so. He's coming to an end of his current deal. Emre Can for Liverpool. He's coming to an end of his deal, and the CEO had also confirmed he's ruled the move out that Juventus will regain their interest in Emre Can in January. It's the CEO said they won't go for him in January. Emre Can, he said they won't make a big signing in the January transfer window as well as CEO Juventus. Emre Can, who had a fine start to the season for Liverpool. Since he's been at Liverpool, I think this is his third or fourth season in the process with Liverpool Football Club, and we know he's an ex-Bayern Munich academy graduate, risen up the ranks with Bayern Munich, won quite a few honours with them as well, went to Bayer Leverkusen, and then Liverpool had paid nearly £10 million for him in 2014, I think it was, and he's gone to make over a century appearances for Liverpool in all competitions. He made 32 starts last season and scored 5 goals in Emre Can, and all in all, all in the Premier League, he has made 92 appearances and scored 7 goals as Emre Can. But we know Liverpool's problems lie. Again, dropping points yesterday. Liverpool Football Club at Newcastle. I think it was a 1-1 draw. I didn't watch the game as I said, because I only really watch Manchester United, but. Liverpool, as said, they had a really good start to the season. Their target is, they've had very, very good players over the years. They haven't been an elite opposition for at least 3-4 years now, or maybe longer, of Liverpool Football Club. Let's be honest, they have got a lot of problems in, since they beat Arsenal by 4 goals to 0, where they will look very, very good. They've still got good players, as I said, they've still got Mane, they've still got, Salah in that team. They've got a good attacking team of Liverpool, but teams can easily exploit them, they can predict them, and Liverpool leak goals, and, they haven't scored a lot of goals, especially in the last couple of games. They've been drawing quite a lot of games, drawing with Burnley, drawing with Spartak Moscow in the Champions League, drawing with Newcastle, as I said, drawing with Burnley, getting hammered at Manchester City. And Liverpool, they know where the problems lie. They need someone at the back, especially. They still probably need a striker as well. And could Klopp be under pressure now at Liverpool Football Club? He was at Borussia Dortmund before. He was there for several years at Borussia Dortmund with Jurgen Klopp. I'm not saying he's a bad manager, but could it be under pressure now? Because, Liverpool in January especially need to reinvest into their squad. They need to reinvest into their squad, because obviously they've already lost Origi. They've lost Sacco as well. They could have lost Coutinho, but obviously Liverpool were reluctant and resisted to sell him. Maybe you could now understand why they didn't offload Coutinho, even though Barcelona were bound to offer loads of money for the player. And, Liverpool still may go for Van Dijk in January. Van Dijk looked as though he was going to join Liverpool, but didn't materialise as well. But Liverpool have got a good attacking team, but at the back as well, especially at the back, this is why they leak goals, and this is why they drop points in the process as well. But Coutinho could still leave Liverpool maybe next summer. Liverpool may soften the stance regarding the player, depending maybe how they do in the January transfer window, Liverpool. But Coutinho, I think he may go next summer because obviously there'd been discussions between Barcelona and Liverpool. It was Barcelona's main priority target during the window. Liverpool had rejected the 72 and 89 and 114 million bid from Barcelona. For me, Liverpool should have accepted this, cashed the money in, and got a number 9, and probably got someone at the back with that money they would have generated if they'd have sanctioned off Philippe Coutinho in the process. But Philippe Coutinho, he's an ex-Inter Milan player, did well at Inter Milan. Liverpool had only paid £9-10 million for him, and this is his 5th season in the process now with Liverpool. Is Philippe Coutinho. I think he's scored a couple of goals this season since he's got back into the team when he recovered from his injury. But he's still a very, very good player, so Liverpool would have made a huge profit. But since he's joined Liverpool, he's become one of the most creative midfielders as Philippe Coutinho. And, Coutinho did want to make the move, and you can explain why. He'd been playing amongst better players. He'd been going to such a bigger club. He'd been elevated to that higher level. In the mix with like Iniesta, Messi and all that in the Barcelona team. And this is why Barcelona wanted him, because he's a very, very good creative midfielder. He's Philippe Coutinho in the process as well. I think the player has actually how many appearances has he made for Liverpool? I think he's nearly made 2 century appearances now for Liverpool. I don't think he's far off if he has Philippe Coutinho, but yeah, maybe go for him next summer with Barcelona, but we'll see. But yeah, Emre Can's coming to an end of his deal, as I said, and it's also said Juventus are interested. Well, there was interested, but they're not going to go for him in January, according to the CEO. Another transfer rumour, Mesut Ozil now, as I've updated you on a regular basis about Mesut Ozil, the Inter Milan president has come out and talked about Inter Milan's interest in Mesut Ozil. But I think he's disregarding the move for Mesut Ozil. I think Arsenal are only prepared to do business with Inter Milan for Ozil. Arsenal will to offload Ozil to Inter Milan only if they offer Joe Mario as part of the deal. But I think Inter Milan have blocked this off as well. But it's just reported that Inter Milan have actually just cooled their interest in Mesut Ozil. He's another player that's coming to an end of his deal with Arsenal as well. He's coming to an end of his deal with Arsenal. It's not realistically. It's unlikely that he's going to be signing a new deal. He was demanding £250,000 a week. Was Mesut Ozil? He's made over century appearances now for Arsenal Football Club as Mesut Ozil. And he scored about 25 goals in the process. But he's very, very good at creating assists. He's very, very good at creating chances as well. He's Mesut Ozil. And Arsenal have generated a lot of money in the August window. And to be fair, Arsenal have done, pretty well since their defeat to Liverpool. They've got results, but they haven't played really any big teams, since, the Liverpool game. They've only played like of Bournemouth. They've had a couple of Europa League games. They did well at Chelsea. They got a point at Chelsea as well. But they have stepped up again, since that Liverpool defeat, to be fair to Arsenal. I think they could do well in the Europa League, to be quite fair. They maybe even could win the Europa League because we won it last season, so I'm not going to slate it down, It's a good trophy, but Arsenal, I still got good players, but they generated a lot of money in the window as well. But obviously Wenger's going to have plans for January to get the replacements for Ozil if he goes. Sanchez, who I presume is going to go in January as well. But yeah, Arsenal beat Brighton 2-0 yesterday. And I think, Sanchez for them, even though I think the Arsenal fans are convinced that Sanchez is going to leave Arsenal Football Club. He's still giving it nearly 100% each game, when he plays for Arsenal. He hasn't scored yet this season so far in the Premier League for Arsenal, but he's still giving it 100% each game. He's going forward, he's creating, he's providing for Arsenal, as he has done basically since he joined the club in 2014. He's still doing very well. And I think him and Lacazette, could be, especially for the time being, an absolutely fantastic partnership for Arsenal Football Club. That would be a very, very good partnership for the time being. Obviously, I think Lacazette's a very, very good player. He did very, very well with Lyon in France. And he scored quite a few goals this season as well. And I think him and Sanchez for Arsenal ideally would be a good partnership for Arsenal Football Club. But obviously, I think Sanchez is going to go in January. But Sanchez does want to make the move, guys, as I said. But going back to Mesut Ozil, reports were breaking out. There's been no talks in Sevilla about securing Mesut Ozil a new deal with Arsenal Football Club. There's been no talks about it of securing Ozil a new deal. He said he was keen on actually reuniting with Jose Mourinho after they were fantastic together at Real Madrid. He's won 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons with Arsenal. He won quite a few honours with Real Madrid, did Mesut Ozil. Arsenal have paid £42.5 million, the highest paid fee for a German player for Mesut Ozil. He hasn't got a good record against the big teams. Arsenal haven't got a very, very good record against the big teams, overall. As I said, but it looks like, to me, Mesut Ozil is going to be making the move. I don't know where it's going to be. Could it be Manchester United? Probably not. Inter Milan, possibly still. I don't know, but I think he's going to go because he's refusing to sign a new deal with Arsenal Football Club, and he was in the Bundesliga for 5 years as well, was Mesut Ozil. But talking about Alexis Sanchez as well from Arsenal, he did say the other day that he's refusing to sign a new deal. He was demanding £400,000 a week, was Sanchez. Arsenal offered him 300,000. He turned this down, did Sanchez. It did come out that a few teams are interested. I think Real Madrid have had an interest in the player. Florentino Perez has been in discussions with his representatives. Manchester United is still in there, apparently. Who else had an interest in him? Paris Saint-Germain have still got an interest in the player. They spent a lot of money in the August window. They may be willing to offload Edison Cavani as part of this. And it also come out the other day that AC Milan were willing to put out a staggering £75 million bid for Alexis Sanchez. Now, this basically would test Arsenal's stance, regarding the player. Obviously, regarding the money that's being offered on the table as well for the player. And Arsenal, considering it's one of their most central players, would really benefit from this because, they only paid £35 million for him from Barcelona back in 2014, £35 million. So they would generate this money and they would make a £40 million profit on Alexis Sanchez because no other team would pay £75 million for the player that's been at the club. This is 4 seasons in the process and he's coming to an end of his current deal as well. And Dan Bollon, the Spanish publication, reported out AC Milan are willing to put £75 million in. Another team that spent quite a bit of money in the window, AC Milan. But this had basically what being reported, and it did say Paris Saint-Germain are actually willing to offer a £10 million bonus for Alexis Sanchez as well in January. But it looks like the Sanchez that is going to go. He made his decision after the Confederations Cup. He just basically said he wants Champions League football. Arsene Wenger he was being ruthless over the situation, regarding Sanchez. He was being really, really ruthless. Saying he's happy at Arsenal and he'll stay at Arsenal and currently dispel the current myth. It looks as though City were going to get the player because, Pep Guardiola and Sanchez were fantastic together at Barcelona. He's won 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons, with Arsenal, but I think Sanchez would want to elevate to that current higher level, guys. He'd want to elevate to that higher level. But all in all, Alexis Sanchez has made over a century appearances now in the Premier League. I think he's made 180 appearances. He's scored 53 goals in the process. Last season scored 24 goals in 38 appearances. And he's made 5 starts this season in the Premier League, but he's yet to score in the Premier League. Is Alexis Sanchez, but I think he will go. I think City are still, the favourites to get the player, as I said, but he risen up the ranks fantastically well with underneath as well with the player. He risen up the ranks fantastically well with underneath, did Alexis Sanchez. So we will see what happens about that, but I'm sure he's going to go in January. City had a 50 million bid turned down. City had a 60 million bid accepted, but obviously Arsenal couldn't find that alternative replacement, and Thomas Lemar was their target, but obviously it didn't materialise. Arsenal didn't get Lemar in the process, so Sanchez ended up staying with Arsenal Football Club. I've got some latest news to update you, as I said, about has updated you. Leon Goretzka now, Repesa reporting that he's been a target for quite a few teams. It said Manchester United have had an interest in the midfielder, Chelsea have had an interest, Arsenal have had an interest in the midfielder. Quite a few teams been interested, but it did say he was favoured to either go to Barcelona or Bayern Munich, was Leon Goretzka as well. He was favoured to go to Bayern Munich or Barcelona, was Leon Goretzka in the process, but it did say now apparently Barcelona have pulled out of the move for Leon Goretzka as well. He's a Schalke player, he's still only young, he is a good talented midfielder, as I've said, he's Leon Goretzka. Schalke had paid £3 or £4 million for him. I think he's risen up the ranks fantastically well, being in the Schalke reserve team. I think this is now his, is it 5th season in the process with Schalke now, in the first team for the player. As I said, he was joint top scorer for Germany as well, was Leon Goretzka in the process as well. I think nearly now he's made a century of appearances for Schalke as Leon Goretzka, and it did actually say, you know, that Bayern Munich had agreed a deal with him back in May, I think it was, but it had come to a conclusion, but Bayern Munich are still interested in Leon Goretzka. As I said, I don't see Manchester United really getting him also. We'll see what happens about that. I'm just updating you on the transfer news that has just basically recently updated. Also, too, it did report, as I updated you the other day, about Timo Werner. Now, he looks a promising young prospect as well. He said quite a few teams are interested in him. I think Real Madrid are interested in him especially. And I think a few other teams are interested in Timo Werner from RB Leipzig. It's only his second season in the process. 21 goals in 32 appearances last season. He scored quite a few goals this season as well for RB Leipzig. He does play in that number 11 shirt as well, does the player. He helped RB Leipzig to qualify for the Champions League last season and gain second place. And yeah, I think, yeah, qualified Champions League and gained second place. He was one of their key players, was Timo Werner in the process as well. He's an ex-Stuttgart player. He signed a professional deal with Stuttgart. He's with them quite a few years with Stuttgart. He's the youngest player to have made over 50 appearances for Stuttgart as well, the player. He also got relegated with Stuttgart, and then just after that he transferred to RB Leipzig, and RB Leipzig paid £10 million for him, and he signed a 4-year deal. So it's reportedly saying Real Madrid are interested in him as well. Also, too, you know, with Manchester United, as I did keep saying, you know, with some transfer rumours, as I did update you yesterday with I updated you a couple of times with Nainggolan. Man United have sent scouts to go and watch Radji Nainggolan from Roma. He's a very good competitive, he's a very good dynamic box-to-box midfielder. He's Radji Nainggolan for Roma. But look at his stats last season. It tells you 1,509 passes, 11 goals, 5 assists, 90 shots, totals 90 shots and 68 chances created. And I think he scored a goal or two this season as well. And Man United are reportedly interested in Nainggolan because he complement our midfield, you know, fantastically well with Radji Nainggolan. It also reported yesterday that Man United were interested in Yusuf Yansis from Trabzonspor. He's been at the club nearly a decade. A Turkish publication, had actually reported that Manchester United had been interested, Liverpool had been interested, Borussia Dortmund, Monaco had an interest in the young 20-year-old prospect, and he's been at Trabzonspor 9 years. I think he hasn't been in the first team, not really long. I think it's just over years. Now he's been in the first team. The player, he scored 6 goals and provided 10 assists last season, 22 appearances all in all, and scored 6 goals last season, did the player. But the president has confirmed that he will not be sanctioned off or offloaded just as yet. And during the summer, he made his international debut as well, the player. Yeah, his international debut for his country, Turkey, during the current summer, but he's a player, you know, he's been there nearly a decade, you know, obviously played in the academy. He made his first team debut back in 2015 as an 18-year-old, his first team debut in a Turkish Cup game, and then in 2016 he made his first team league debut in February 2016 as well. So he has risen up the ranks fantastically well as the player, but he did say Man United have showed an interest in him as well. So see what happens about that. But as I did update you also yesterday with the Ryan Sessegnon situation, apparently now it's actually saying that Tottenham are actually going to revive the interest in the player. Tottenham were actually linked with him during the summer, because Tottenham have obviously got 3 players in their team. Tottenham signed 3 players in their team, sorry, should I say. They signed 3 players. But obviously Tottenham were linked with him during the window. Manchester United were linked to Ryan Sessegnon during the window as well. Tottenham, I think, had a 25 million bid turned down for the player. But it's now reporting that Tottenham could revive the interest, go for the player next summer or something like that. And but it said Fulham may be demanding a staggering £50 million if they are going to offload Ryan Sessegnon to Tottenham. And that, considering that's a lot of money, for a 17-year-old lad, who has risen up the ranks fantastically well, fair play to him. He joined Fulham in 2008 and he was playing for the under-9s team. He was fantastic in his debut season with the first team last season. Was Ryan Sessegnon. He made 26 appearances last season. He scored 5 goals and got 3 assists as well. His style of play is fantastic. His defensive distribution is good. His attacking game is very, very good as well. He's very distinctive in his play, and he's very, very generous on that left-hand side. He's Ryan Sessegnon. He can't only score goals, he can provide assists as well, as he has proven. But he joined them in 2008, played for the under-9s. He made his first team debut in the EFL Cup against Leyton Orient, and then he made his first team league debut against Leeds United, and he scored his first goal against Cardiff. Did Ryan Sessegnon, and that's a good as well, because he became the youngest player in the first team game to score. He became the youngest player to score. He scored against Cardiff his first goal and became the youngest player to score in a first team game in the Championship. Did Ryan Sessegnon, but he is very, very good. He signed a new deal back in June. I think it was a 3-year deal that Ryan Sessegnon had signed back in June as well. But apparently Tottenham may go for him, and they have plans to put a bid in for him, but he's not going to come cheap, as Fulham may be demanding £50 million for the player in the process. But yeah, for me, I'm going to do a bit this season. For me, this season, I think, it's looking very, very good, from Manchester United point of view. From City's perspective, it's looking very, very good for them as well. I think it's going to be between United City this season for the league, if I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. I think it's going to be between United City this year. The football Man United and Manchester City are playing is very, very good. Aguero's on form for City. Jesus on form for City. Raheem Sterling's on form for Manchester City as well. But for Manchester United, you've got Romelu Lukaku now, hitting form. And, Romelu Lukaku now with 11 goals in all competitions for United. What a buy he was. And, I think, the football we're playing, we haven't seen it for like a few years. And, especially, the football that Manchester United, are playing. I think we're going to elevate to that higher standard, elevate to a higher standard from last season, where we only took the League Cup and that. But I think we're going to elevate to that higher level and probably go for the Premier League this season. I think Ashley Young's performing, since he's come back. Matic is looking good in the midfield. We know Rojo's still out. We know Pogba's still injured, which is a bit of a shame. And Fellaini, making a big impact again as he coming on as a sub against Basel, making an impact, scoring 2 against Crystal Palace. Marion Fellaini. What he's doing very, very well is Marion Fellaini. I'm very, very impressed with him. Rashford, absolutely fantastic. Getting 2 assists against Crystal Palace. Martial as well. Getting an assist against Crystal Palace, also scoring against Moscow, and also getting 2 assists against Moscow. Romelu Lukaku scoring twice against Moscow and scoring against Crystal Palace as well. Romelu Lukaku. I think Lukaku and Martial are looking very, very good. Lingard looks good when he plays. Rashford's looking very, very good. I think he's distinctive in his play. His pace is fantastic. Defenders can't cope with his pace, Marcus Rashford. I think, especially against Crystal Palace, it was good. His crossing was good. His delivery is good, as I said. just absolutely was everything was very distinctive, creative in his play. He's just everything. You know, he's got absolutely everything. He's got that potential as Marcus Rashford, and he's absolutely fantastic. But for me, it's going to be between City and United this season for the Premier League. As I said, I may have disregarded Chelsea a little bit now, as City did beat them at Stamford Bridge. I did favour Chelsea, you know, because Chelsea have been pretty good at Stamford Bridge, especially under Jose Mourinho. It was like a fortress. But for me, I think it's going to be between City and United. You know, the football they're playing, and yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see. But Man United we've only conceded 4 goals this season, but we must have scored over 30 goals now this season in all competitions. For me, you know, I think Bailey and Jones are doing very, very well. I think Smalling's doing very, very well as well. Mkhitaryan's doing very, very well for the team as well. Mata, you know, he's doing very, very well. I think he's been fantastic, you know. He's made now 2 century appearances, I think, in the Premier League. He's scored about 46 goals and assisted 43 all in all in the Premier League. And scoring his first goal of the season against Crystal Palace was good to see as well. I thought Mata run his heart out as well. I thought Mata played very, very well in the Palace game. And for me, it's going between Manchester United and Manchester City this season. Especially Liverpool are going to be nowhere near because they're poor now. Arsenal no. Chelsea I think Chelsea top 3, top 4. Especially, you know, considering where especially Tottenham are playing now, I think Tottenham are going to be maybe top 5. They may even scrape the top 4 still, considering where they're playing. Harry Kane, what a fantastic player, you know. Harry Kane is, you know, he's got to be one of the best in Premier League, if not one of the best in the world, maybe in the top 3 best in the world. He's not in the calibre of Messi or Ronaldo, let's be honest, but the goals he scores, you know, scoring 2 against Huddersfield, hat-trick in the Champions League, 2 against Dortmund. He's a player that just scores loads and loads of goals. He's Harry Kane for Tottenham. Won the Golden Boot, as I said, for the last couple of years. And it's just the home form that's been letting Tottenham down this season. They haven't won at Wembley yet this season of Tottenham Hotspur. They have not won at Wembley this season so far, but away from home, it's been 100%. You know, they've won every single game away from home of Tottenham Hotspur this season as well in the process. But they've got a very, very good team of Tottenham. But Kane, you know, very, very good in the air, good at leading the lines, and what a fantastic player he is. Over the 3 years, you know, he's progressed fantastically well with Tottenham Hotspur, you know, scoring loads of goals in a 3-year period, and he's hit now about 108 goals in all competitions now for Tottenham as Kane. But I think he's better than Lukaku, but I think Lukaku's second best striker in the Premier League. I think it's Lukaku, Kane. Morata's very, very good as well. Lacazette's very, very good, but I just don't think he's in the same calibre as Kane, your Lukaku's and all that. So that's what I'm saying in the process, guys, as well. But yes, now we've got the international break, and then Man United's real test then is going to be the Liverpool game away from home. That's going to be the test for us, especially. It's going to be a real test. I'm looking forward to the game. It's always a good game, Manchester United against Liverpool, as we all know, guys. But yeah, we will see what happens in the process. So anyway, guys, that's all your transfer news update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe to the channel as always, and take it easy, and I'll see you all later. Bye.